This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. It gives me great pleasure to do this interview. Sonny Edwards, we spoke a little bit back and forth on Twitter. I was saying to Eddie, why don't you sign him in my interview that I did, I think back in January now. Here we are, move forward, end of March. You are a Matchroom fighter. Just how good does it feel?
Oh, so is it, I've got you to thank them, really?
I suppose so, yeah.
Because maybe if you never said nothing, well, I'll be serious, like, because, you know what I mean, the phone never used to ring, and then all of a sudden, sometime in January, it didn't stop, you know what I mean? So maybe...
I'm going to take that.
So maybe it must have...
Taking the credit. How are you, Sonny?
Yeah, I'm good. A little frustrating period, but, you know, I have been busy, and people keep thinking I've not been busy, like, I've had title fights since, like, my 5th fight. Back-to-back title fights. I'm 19-0. Like, I had 7 fights in 14 months. Go check the box rec. I had 3 fights in the last 11, all world title fights. So a little bit of time off, followed by now something big, which is, you know, joining Matchroom and all the fights that it sort of sets out, the biggest promoter in the world, yada yada. Like, I'm in a great place, and 2023, as people might have seen on Twitter earlier in the week, I'm very excited for.
Look, you spoke about frustrations. How annoying has that been? Because we know you're someone that relishes the activity, but also quite refreshing for us as hardcore boxing fans. You will fight anyone. It's just not on your side. Those fights haven't been able to be made. Now you sign with Matchroom, you have full faith that they can be made. You look at Julio Cesar Martinez, you look at Jesse Bam Rodriguez, who's out next week, and you think, right, just get me in there ASAP.
Yeah, I think if I was the hardest person to work with on all these little fights we've been trying to make, would I have been getting announced today, been getting signed? No, I would not have. Definitely wouldn't have with some of the shit I've said in the past, yeah. Definitely not, but in some ways I'm a promoter's dream, because like you said, I really will fight anyone, and I don't say it because it sounds good. I will prove it. I want people to call me out. Right now I'm #1, and I'm not threatened by any of them. My weight or the weight above. And now a new weight is gone, probably not the weight above that either, I'll be wrong. And that includes my brother, you know what I mean? Boxing Social calling at me all the time. Fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
That ain't me on the socials. I'll just stick that in there.
Keep clipping it. Oh.
No, you know what? The engagement you're giving us is nice, so I ain't complaining.
No, I stopped doing interviews with you lot for a bit as well. Just starting back again.
No, we're back. Sonny, sort of with Eddie now, I suppose I know you're here from a fighting perspective, but you've always been someone who's very marketable. I look at you now, I'm a man who can admire good taste, and I like what I'm seeing.
You're feeling it, yeah?
I'm feeling it, and I see you with Eddie. It's going to be an ongoing blossoming relationship. We're going to see some good fun as well with this, aren't we?
Yeah, man, because, okay, this might come across really bad, yeah, but in boxing, I don't think there's that many people that can hold a conversation with me to the level that Eddie can. So when I speak to him, I know he's probably on edge as much as I am, especially when we're on opposite team. So now we've teamed up and we'll be on the same side. Well, I don't know. It'll be hard. I might walk to war with Frank Smith while I'm beating Martinez, Bam Rodriguez. You know, because there's a bit of investment in them fighters. Until I get like, oh no, yeah, let's keep hold of him. You know what I mean? As soon as I see the, actually, Sonny, your contract's not over yet, extension, then I know that me and Eddie are, you know what I mean? Like that, yeah. Extension. But until then, it's me. Don't get me wrong, we're working together, and he will deliver the fight, because I know he wants to make the fights. That's why, if you go back to all the interviews, I'm never saying Eddie doesn't want them, ever, because we had the conversations. I know he wants to make the fights. It just makes it a little bit easier now that I'm in the house, because if people start really saying no, what their promoter going to say?
It's actually quite refreshing, because there aren't many fighters who will come at it from that aspect as well, but that's what we can expect from you.
Yeah, I kind of...
Say it how it is.
You know what? And there's a lot of flyweights that are upset, and super-flyweights that are upset that I've signed for Matchroom. I can promise you. They're a bit, oh, how's that going to go? Because it was all right while I was across the waters, and they could just ignore me on Twitter. You know what I mean? They could just ignore me in interviews, ignore me on Twitter. They will not be able to ignore the campaigns no more. You thought the No Drugs, No Champions took the biscuit. That is not a drop in the water of what we got planned.
What about that, you know? Sonny, just quickly, I was speaking to Junaid last night. I saw a tweet circulate. I tried to sort of get any gossip off him, but he didn't know anything. He just replied with, bro, you know me, I'm not active on Twitter. There was rumours at the 11th hour that you could sign with Golden Boy. Was there any realness to that?
To be perfectly honest, I heard they was interested. There was, you know, offers in the air, and it was a point where I was sort of waiting to see. So if it come from that, I don't know where it come from. If it come from that, then I guess. Did they get as close to signing me as Matchroom? I don't know. I'm here, you know. So it was, and Golden Boy Promotions, fantastic platform, massive in America, and it is no disrespect to them. I think the fights that just made a lot more sense for me. And don't get me wrong, they're both on the zone, but you know, if it's an Eddie show now, I'm chucking a percent somewhere, or they're chucking a percent, it just all gets a bit harder. So yeah, I'm glad that we got things over the line. I'm very, very happy with where we're at with everything. And yeah, like you said, I'm looking forward to seeing it in the future.
Okay, Scott Hamilton is just showing me this. I don't know if you've seen it. Charlie Edwards has put a video 7 minutes ago. Congratulations, Sonny Edwards. And Eddie Hearn for a great link up. But time to take over the flyweight division. But for real, the big fight, I'm only at the end of the phone. Hashtag Edwards versus Edwards.
I think he's looking at me for the retirement check. I'm not joking. He knows he's not competitive with me, especially not with Joe Gallagher in his corner. He couldn't train a dog to sit down for long enough. So he could make it run for long enough. 3 hours mad training. He could not teach a dog to sit down for more than 2 minutes. So I love the confidence and I appreciate the support from my big bro. I do. I don't know, like I said, what Joe has said to him on the pads over the last few months. But Charlie, let me. Sorry, not trying to be abruptly blunt. Charlie stopped sparring me out of choice when I was about 18, 19 years old. Then, for the last however many years, he has only ever helped me when I need sparring. You see, when he's sparring for his fight, I don't spar him. I tried going to Joe Gallagher's gym to spar him and Paul Butler before I fought Mama, and Paul Butler was meant to be on my card, and it didn't because he pulled out against a 44-year-old African in the 11th hour when Casemiro pulled out. Yeah. They wouldn't let me go down to the gym and spar them to the mighty Charlie Edwards, big brother. I'm fucking Paul Butler, who's meant to be fun. Wouldn't let me go in the gym and spar him. And this is before I started calling Joe Gallagher a Muppet on interviews. Believe me, this is why I believe he's a Muppet. 4 phone calls, didn't answer, didn't get back to him. Now, man, go fight yourself.
This is the Sonny Edwards that the British public are intrigued to see. We've got a man who can talk, we've got a man who can sell the fight, and we've got a man who can bring, being brutally honest, we need some hype in the smaller divisions in England. It's not always given the credit, and now we've got you in the UK to do that. Doesn't matter whether the fights are abroad or home, you will now have the platform to make your name. Sonny, final message, just how excited are you?
Yeah, really, really excited. The one thing about me, yeah, I don't always tell the truth, but I'll never lie.
Take that as we will. Sonny Edwards, thank you very much for speaking to us at Boxing Social.